Okay, yeah. Hello guys, good evening all. So welcome back to our session. So we can start it, I think so now. First of all, sorry for the delay. So unfortunately, we had some traffic jam at like in some area. So that is the reason for delay. Fine. So in last class, we finished the elastic block storage, right? Have practiced elastic block storage? Okay. Have you got the outputs correctly? And migrating from one region to another region. Is everything clear? Yeah. Okay. I'm not getting your voice exactly. What is the issue you are getting? Okay, you convert the snapshot into EBS and you convert the EBS into some other region, but output is not getting it. No, no. First of all, you create an US East 1A, for example, let's take. You copy the snapshot to which region? Mumbai region. For example, from the Mumbai region snapshot, have you convert to EBS value? From EBS value, again attached to server. That means your snapshot is still processing. How much time you waited for? No, 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 I'm asking how much time you waited for. Like sometimes, whenever you copy the snapshot, if the option is not available, means snapshot is not completely done. Okay, fine. Let's do one thing. If we have it, we can troubleshoot after that lesson. Okay. Okay, fine. Let's do like do it tomorrow also. If it is getting the same issue, I'll troubleshoot it for you. Okay. Fine. In today's class, we are going to speak about IAM. What we are going to speak about? What is IAM? Anyone knows about IAM here? What is IAM? Identity and access management. Okay, fine then. So I'll ask you a simple question. Like when it comes to IAM, I'll ask only one question. So which is going to be very, very important for your interview point of time. So, IAM. So what is the difference between authentication versus authorization? Can you tell me? Authentication versus authorization. Already we discussed these points, sir, if you remember. What is authentication? What is authorization? Authentication means? Sorry? Verifying someone. Okay, authorization means? So I'll tell one simple example. Fine. Can you please stop this one for a few seconds? Any one of you? There. So authentication means simply who can log in. Authentication means simply who can sign in. Authorization means who has the access to work. These are the two different things. Authentication means permission for sign in. Authorization means access. For example, see, let's take the simple example. This is the class. Let's consider our class is like AWS account. What is our class? All of us are logged into AWS account. Even you came to the class, I came to the class, some other person came to the class. That is called as authentication. That means the person who has the option to sign in. That is what we can call as authentication. What we can call as. And sir, all of us came to the class, but who has the permission to tell the class? Me or you? That means I am authorized. That means I have the access to tell the class. All of us are authenticated. That means all of us came to the class, right? That means you have the permission to came to the class. But who is authorized here? I am authorized. Why? Because I have the permission to tell the class itself. So in AWS also the same thing. Whenever you are talking about IAM, so the main things about is authentication, authorization. Authentication means who can able to sign in, and authorization means who can have the access to work. See here, access means simply with what we can call as permission, sir. What we can call as permission. Simply permission. Is the concept clear? No? Authentication means who can able to sign in. Authorization means who can able to access or you can able to give the permission. Fine then. So the main theme of IAM is, for example, it is my AWS centralized account. It is my AWS centralized account, right? So now if you go and see here, . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . I can able to sign in. I can able to sign in. And second thing is I can able to work. So if I want to sign in or if I want to work, first of all, I can log in with my root user credentials. All of you have root user credential, right? That means your username, your email and password. But sir, for example, let's consider in real time, we have 10 people. How many people? So let's listen the concept. Concept is going to be amazing. Okay. Just trust me. Here we have 10 people. In these 10 people, I want to give full permission for 5 people. How many? Or let's take 2 people only for your even more clarity. If I take 2 people, so in that case, you will get the even more clarity. First person is fully experienced, sir. First person is. Second person is going to be fresher. Which one? Sir, can we give full permission to experienced people? But how about fresher? We can't give it, right? So what exactly my theme is here? In real time also, all of your fresher, right? So whenever you go for organization, they won't give you the full permission. They won't give you the, in that case, they will give you the permission of how much you want. For example, you are a fresher. They want to give permission to work on only S3. They want you to give permission on full only on working on S3. No, sir, they want you to give permission for only working of EC2. No, sir, they want to give permission to work on some ABC, other like thing. So in that case, what exactly will happen, you know? They are going to create a IAM user. What they are going to create? What is the difference between IAM user and root user? Root user will have full credentials. I mean like full permission to work. But when it comes to IAM user will have limited access. Which access? So IAM user is having limited restriction. He's having limited permission, sir. He doesn't have full permission. Okay. Or we can call this restricted. And root user is having full permission. Root user is having what? Now tell me, how many kind of users can log into AWS account? To user. User number one is IAM user. IAM user is having restriction or full permission? Restriction. Second one is root user means you will be having full permission. All of you are daily logging with root user only. Which user we are logging with? Is the concept clear for all of you? So Alan, can you please tell me, is the concept clear for all of you till now? Authentication versus authorization, IAM user versus root user. Can you please tell me? Is it clear for all of you or not? So I would like to get from response from remaining people also. Why? Because it is going to be the most important concept actually. So when it comes to IAM, you need to be very, very careful. Online, what about remaining? Is it clear for you? Can you please confirm once? Fine then. Okay, sir. Currently, daily you are logging with root user. But if I want to log in with IAM user, how to log in? So when it comes to the concept of IAM full form is nothing but identity and access management. What it is? So in identity and access management, the major thing about, first of all, you are going to talk about IAM users. What you are going to talk about? Second one, you are going to talk about IAM groups. Third one, you are going to talk about IAM users, groups and roles. Which one? Users, groups and all. Fourth one is going to be permissions. Which one? Permissions. So tell me, IAM will be having 4 type of importance. First of all, IAM users. Second one, IAM groups. Third one, IAM roles. And fourth one is going to be IAM. I'll explain each and everything about clearly. But the only thing you want is, for today's class, you need to be observe them very, very carefully. So now if you go and see, like here I'll go and I'll click on refresh. Click on launch instance. First of all, like, of course, no need of instance, simply. See, it is my AWS console, right? I log in with the user called Vamsi Krishna. Which user? He doesn't have any special privileges. I mean, like he doesn't have any restriction basically. Why? Because he's the root user. Which user? Which user will have restrictions? IAM user. But for root user, do we have any restriction? No, simply he can do whatever he want, right? So here, what exactly I'm going to do is I'll go to the IAM tab here. See, the concept is going to be very, very crazy. You know Jenkins RBAC? What is RBAC, sir? Role-based access. In IAM also, exactly we are going to do the same thing. Role-based access control, okay? Click on users. Currently, how many users you will be having here? 3 users, right? So what exactly I'm going to do is I'll create a new user called fresher. Which user? For example, let's consider a fresher came to our company. Who came to our company? For fresher, can we give full kind of permissions? No, right? So in that case, what exactly it is going to happen? If a fresher cannot get the full details or full information, so I'm going to restrict him. He's a fresher. He doesn't have any full AWS knowledge. So I want him to work on only AWS. I want him to work on only AWS EC2 service. Which service? So in that case, I'm creating a user for him. So click on user, attach policies, or what I want to give permission for him, only EC2. So type here EC2 full access. The moment if you type EC2 full access, he can be having the permission of only EC2. How to give permission? Attach policies directly. Next, create user. The moment if you create the user, this user want to log into the console. Sir, by default, console access I haven't given. If you go to security credentials, what is the console access here? Enable or disable? Not enable. Why it happened means I'll tell you. Come back to the user here. Delete the user. I'll try to recreate. Why? Because here you haven't given the console access. Of course, you can give it from there also, but I want to show you from the scratch. So see now. Click on create user. Fresher. Which one? This time I am reading it very carefully. Provide user access to AWS management console. Are you seeing this one? Sir, previously have I selected this option? Why I haven't selected? Because unfortunately I missed it. I mean, not unfortunately, because I want to show you. If you don't give this option, user cannot be able to log into the console. I want to create IAM user, and password can be custom password, auto-generate password. You can give anything. I am giving auto-generate password. Here it is telling that user must create a new password at next sign in. That means currently you are using custom generate password. Which password? So for the custom generated password, whenever in future, if you want to change any kind of password, you need to enable this one. What we need to do? Click on next. So here you need to click on attach policies. What policy I want to give EC2? Full access. So click on EC2 full access. Click on next. Click on create user. So are you seeing the console link username and password? Sir, it is always recommended you to download this username and password and console link. Why? Because if you don't download, password is custom generated or auto generated. That means, do you know what is the password now? You don't know, sir. Unfortunately, if you forgot to download, what will happen? Means you don't know the password. You have the username, but you don't have password. Is it going to help you? So always recommended to download this file, .csv. .csv means it is going to be an what we call this one? Excel format. Which format? Username is there, password is there, console link is there. Now what I'm going to do is copy this console link and take some other tab. Guys, I am giving this small suggestion for you. Whenever if you want to test IAM user, use some separate browser. Why? Because if I try to log into the same browser, my current session will be logged off. Correct or not, sir? See, whenever you are trying to check on same browser, basically what exactly will happen is your current session will be logged off. In that case, to avoid that one, what I'm using here? I'm using some separate browser. The separate browser pays the like URL here. So by default, IAM will get the 12-digit number. What he will get? Write this note point. IAM user will get the 12-digit number by default. IAM user will by default get the 12-digit number. What is the username, sir, here? But before username, what is the node point is set for you? IAM user by default get the 12-digit. Now see here. Apart from 12-digit number, he is getting the username, right? Here you can see IAM 12-digit number or account alias. Account alias means instead of 12-digit number, if you want to use your name, is it showing the username here? What is the IAM username? What is the password? Password you don't know. In that case, if you go to your previous tab, here it is showing the password. Show. And if you want to copy it. And if you want to paste it on some other tab. So now logged in here. I already said that after login, if you want to change the permission, we can change it. Why? Because there is a tick box enabled or not, sir? Why is the tick box enabled? Why is the tick box enabled? To change the password. So here just to give the old password and the new password, I'm going to give it as fresher123. Capital F, R-E-S-H here, fresher123. And here also you can go for F-R-E-S-H here, 123. Click on change the password. The moment if you change the password, what will happen, sir, here? Logged into account. Now, which permission I give? EC2 full access. That means he can see it. He can read it. He can edit. He can create and he can delete. Okay. Let's create a EC2 instance. The name I'm going to give it as Raham. Okay. Key pair, of course, you can select without key pair also. That's absolutely fine. So security group, you can go for default. Here I can be able to create the instance. I can able to see the instance. And even if I want, can I able to delete the instance? I can. But apart from EC2, sir, if I want to create any S3 bucket, let's try to create a S3 bucket. Click on create bucket. So bucket name, I'm going to give it as Raham bucket 007. Okay. So how to create buckets, all of you know, right? So I'm click on enabling the versioning. And if I click on create bucket, what will happen means error. What you got here? Can you please read this error for me? What exactly it is telling? What is telling? Permission required. So to create a bucket, S3 bucket permission is required. Sir, which permission you got me? You give me? Why? Because he's a fresher. You don't know about complete AWS, right? So I ask him to work on only EC2, sir. He is working on only EC2. But if I don't want to create S3 bucket, if I don't want to create VPC, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to restrict the user. What I'm going to do? So now is the user restricted or not, sir? Sir, but unfortunately, if I want to create the bucket, if this particular user want to create the bucket, what I want to do now? Permissions, right? Go back to your main account. It is your main account. Go to the user tab here. In the user tab, click on fresher. Here, instead of AWS EC2 full access and IAM user change password, click on add permission. In the add permission, click on attach policies. Which permission I want to give here? S3 full permission. Remember, full permission is different. Read permission is different. Read permission means you can able to see the buckets or you can see the instances. Read means only we can able to see, sir. But if I want to work completely, I need to give the full access. Which access? Add permission. That's it. So now if I go and if I click on create, is it going to create now? Why, sir? Because the permission you applied just now. So first of all, you want to refresh this tab. What you want to do? Refresh the tab. give the bucket name, you can able to create it. So Raham Sheikh bucket 007. That's it I want to create. Is it going to create now? So now my question is, how many of you are going to believe it is going to be created, and how many of you are not going to believe it is not going to create it? Raise your hands. Create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What about remaining? Okay, how many of you say it is not going to create? Raise your hands. And how many of you are in middle? Neither true nor false. Okay, D. What about you both? Create a and you create you. Then why you haven't raised the hands? You need to raise now. So click on create bucket. It is absolutely going to create. Why? Because permission we applied, right? If you apply the permission, first of all, refresh the tab, then permission is going to apply. Is the bucket created now? Are you able to see list of buckets here? Why it is done means I have given the S3 permission. Which permission? Sir, currently I can be able to see the bucket. I can able to create the bucket, sir. But the moment if I go back and if I select this option and if I click on remove, now again I'll get what? Can I able to see it or can I not able to see it? Can I able to see or not? Click on refresh. You don't have permission to list the buckets. Now again, if I want to get again list permission, click on add permission. Tell me the process. Add permission. Attach policies. Now here what I want to give. Type S3 full. Full means you can create, you can edit, you can modify. But if I want to only list the buckets, I can give S3 read only access. Which one? See this one. Read means just to read it. Full means complete, like everything. Permission I don't know. Again, I'll be going back. Again, I'll be keep refreshing this one. Now go and see here, sir. What will happen here now? Exactly. What happened here? It got completely created, right? That's it. So this is the way how you can able to work with IAM user. Simply IAM user is nothing but if I want to give a permission for so and so user. I want to give a permission for so and so, but I want to restrict the user to specific resource. In that case, what I'm gonna use? IAM user. You can create the user, you can give the password, you can able to log in with that user with 12-digit IAM code, or you can log in with the alias also, username. But if I want to restrict the user, can I restrict the user? How to restrict the user? By giving the permission for him. By giving the, so write exactly what is IAM user. Now I'm going to tell you. So just open the notes and write what exactly the definition of IAM user. I'll tell only few important points. Okay, wrote that important points only. No need to write everything. So just type here IAM user. IAM user. What is IAM user? To give permission. Just write what I'm writing. For a user, we can give any kind of permission. Is sorry. Is it clear, sir, for all of you? What is IAM user here? When we want to give permission to user, but we want to restrict the user for only limited services. So in that case, we can create a IAM user. Sorry, I forgot to write this one. We can create a IAM user. For a user, we can give any kind of permission. It can be read permission, it can be write permission, it can be like full permission also. It's nothing. So permission means read permission or full permission. Anything you can give. Is the definition of IAM user clear for all of you? Everybody. With examples. Sure? Alan, what about you? Is the concept of IAM user clear for all of you? Can you please confirm me once? Why? Because if I get response from you, so I'll come to know like how it is going to be like understandable for you. Clear, fine. Sir, in the chapter of IAM, first user concept is done. What is the next concept here? Groups. But before that one, sorry, for a user, if I want to give full permission without any restriction, what I can do, add permission, attach policies, go for administrator access. Which one? For admin access, what we can do? If I give the admin access, it doesn't matter. He can be able to work on any service, right? That is the main thing. If you go and see, currently, if you want to work on VPC, go for VPC. VPC stands for virtual private cloud, which is your upcoming going concept for. So if I go to VPC, sir, can I create a VPC here? VPC name like whatever I want to create, I can create. Am I able to create here VPC? Let's select Lenny Cider block 10 dot. I mean, like again, I'll gonna explain this concept on the VPC part. So here just I'm giving a glimpse of it. I'm able to create VPC. Why am I able to create VPC? Because I have the administrator access. Which one? So the main thing about is administrator access. What is administrator access? Write this point, all of you. It is going to be very, very important. You need to understand what is the administrator access. What is the meaning of administrator access? Full permission of AWS console. The moment if you give administrator access, the user can be able to do any work, sir. In the complete entire of AWS, he can be able to do any kind of work. So that's it about the IAM user. So is the IAM user clear for all of you? This part is done completely. What is the next part here after IAM user? IAM. So let's discuss about IAM groups. Okay. So now I'm going to teach you about IAM groups. What exactly meaning of group? Sir, just generally, what is the meaning of group in general? I'm asking. Group. Group of. See, let's take general example. All of you are on Telegram channel, right? Telegram channel is a group. What's your name? Huh? Keith, any your name? Lakshmi, and your name? Zeth, and your name? Samir. So if I want to ping, good morning, Kirti, good morning, Lakshmi, good morning, Zayed, and good morning, Samir. So it is going to be take a lot of time, correct or not, sir? And what's your name? Kalam. So good morning, Kalam. So it's going to take a lot of time. So in that case, what we create a group for all of you. If I post good morning students, all of the message, like all of you are going to get the same message or not, sir? Here also same purpose. Whenever you want to give same permission for multiple user, whenever you want to give same permission for multiple user, we will create the IAM groups. What we will create? And the permission here we are not going to give for user. Permission we are going to give for the groups itself. So if I give permission for the group, how many users in that particular group is existed, same permission is going to copy for all the users. Okay. So now see, here I'm going to write this one for you. So I'll tell one technique for you. So basically I'll type the content, right? This time I'm not going to type the content. See, IAM group is used to give permission for multiple users. So here I'm going to use a technique called control H. What I'm going to use? The moment if you give control H, if you type on listening, IAM user is used to give permission for multiple user at a time. In order to pass same kind of permission for multiple user, we can use IAM groups concept. If we give permission for IAM group, all the user in that group is going to get the same kind of permission. So to manage multiple users and their permissions, IAM group is going to be useful in the real time. Comma. Comma. It's not giving me the comma. It is typing. So basically, the reason why I shown you this trick, So if you want to type your documentation in MS Suite, I'm talking. MS Suite means MS Excel, MS Word, MS Notepad, anything. Type Windows H. Which one? If you type Windows H, you can print whatever you say. You can print whatever you say. If you want me to show, just type here. I'm giving Windows H. Hi students, good morning all. Welcome to my session. In today's class, I'm gonna speak about concept of AWS IAM. It is going to print completely or not, sir? Even it is printing what I am saying, if you see here, right? So this shortcut will save a lot of time. Whenever if I want to do documentation on my own, generally I'll use this Windows H. Which one? See, it is typing what exactly I am saying, right? So this is a shortcut which you can use for your like real-time work or for your shortcut. Like if you want to prepare your own documentation, or even though if I want to prepare my documentation in real time, I'll use this process only. See, if you observe here, whatever I'm telling, it is printing the same thing or not, sir? That is the power. Okay. Okay. So write this shortcut and write this meaning also. I'm gonna stop it. If you want to stop it, just stop this. Okay. So write about IAM user. I'll give some time for you. Write about IAM user. Okay. Write this point. IAM group it is. What is the name of this tool? It's Microsoft Windows Notepad. And the shortcut is Control H. Okay. Write this all of you in a meanwhile. I'll give some time for you. Once it is done, let me know, please. Okay. I'm asking about speaking tool, which that's what I'm saying. Basically, I use the MS Word notepad here. In the notepad, what I'm typing, Windows Edge. So Aditya, like your name is Aditya. Okay. So Aditya Jain. So just go to Windows any suite, like that can be notepad, that can be Excel, or that can be what we call this one, Word also. Just type control, control or Windows Edge. Okay. Is it a cool shortcut or not, sir? Definitely it is. Just write these points. Yeah, fine, Aditya. Okay, so let's see something about group actually. Is it done for all of you? Writing? Okay, if you want some time, please let me know. Okay, I'll give for you. And at the end of the day, like let me know. I'll tell one Kubernetes tip for all of you. In last class, we discussed about Kubernetes OS update, right? OS update only. Now I'll tell something about daemon set. How is it daemon set for you? Kubernetes daemon set. No, I'll tell today. Okay. So daily till AWS is going to complete, I'll tell one Kubernetes extra topic for you. This is the promise I'm giving for you. Why? Because I want you to guess the best content. Even though if the topic sir is out of your syllabus, it doesn't matter for me. I want to teach you the best content, and you want to learn the best content from me as well. Okay. Why I'm doing it for you? Eh? For what? For getting more information. So I want to give the best content for you, sir. Okay. In the initial day only, I said for you, if you join here, I'll provide the best content. So as per my words, what are the tools I'm going to teach you? I'll give the best for you. But apart from all of this, I said one more point also. If I what I said, sorry, you were telling something. Exactly. You are my favorite batch. Why? Because you are learning the concepts very speedily when compared with other batch, sir. Trust me, I'm not saying for your satisfaction. What I felt, I'm saying you. Really, this is the amazing batch. I can call it as Super 30. What I can call it as? Why? Because for my previous batches, like it took almost all 6 days for me to teach Ansible. But for you, how many days it took, sir? 5 days, right? And for Docker, they took almost all 7 days, but you took only 6 days. Correct or not? Uh, that is the reason. Correct only, Varsha Singh. You are good students, okay? Fine. We are good students. You forgot your buddies, Varsha. Fine. So let's go and create the IAM group now. So go for user groups here. So click on create a group. So already here I'm gonna create a group called Raham group. Basically DevOps group is already exist here. So what I'm gonna do is cancel. Basically here you have the DevOps group. I'm gonna delete this group for you as of now, and I'll recreate the same group. DevOps. Click on create a group. Group name is going to be DevOps. For this group, how many users you want to add? I want to add fresher user. I want to add Shemu user. I want to add Bumps user. For all of these group mates, I want to give only EC2 full access. Which one? That means how many users I am selecting here? Fresher user, Shemu user. If I click on create group, all of these users will get the same permission. If you go and see in permission part, what is the permission you are giving for this all of these users? For how many users? 3 users. Fresher user, Shemu and no, sir. If I want to add one more permission for user, how can I add one more permission? Add permission, attach policy. So here, full access. So done now S3 full access. Fine. So now if you go and see here, these persons, how many persons we are having here? Three permission, Fresher, Shemo, and Vamsi. So all of these people is having AWS EC2 full access as well as AWS S3. That means these people can do S3 full operations. Full operation means what? Reading the S3 buckets, modifying the S3 buckets, creating and deleting, as well as creating the EC2 instance, deleting them, reading them, and modifying them. They can do whatever they want. But sir, if I want to create a VPC with among these users, can I able to create VPC? Why no, sir? Why no, sir? Because we give permission for only EC2 full access and S3 full access. But have I given permission for what we call this one, VPC access? That means if you try to log in with this user, you cannot do VPC. If you want me to show, currently in this group, are you having fresher user? So now I'll already my fresher user is logged in here. Click on refresh. Just observe, can he able to perform VPC or not? Go for your VPCs. Click on create VPC. VPC name ABC VPC. It can be anything basically. Can he able to create VPC or not, sir? Sir, what I said here means these people can able to do how many operations? EC2 and S3. But what is creating? VPC. How is creating, sir? Because for the group permission, we give EC2 and full access, S3 full access. For group, how many permission we give? EC2 and S3. But if I go to users option, in the user, have I given VPC access here? Hey, here it is there, man. Administrator access, right? You got the logic point. So now see how it is going to explain in real time. For a user call fresher, I give two permissions, only EC2 permission and only S3 permission. These two permissions I have group on which level? Group level. Which level? But already in the user level, I have given him the admin access. Which access? In which level? So now which one is going to be high priority? Group level or user level? Why? Because in user, you already having the admin access. If you go for the group and if you give only EC2 and S3, it doesn't work, sir. Why? Because he's an admin. He can do whatever he want, right? So now tell me, if the user don't want to create the VPC, which level of permission I want to remove? Group level or user level permission? User level permission. So go to the user level, remove the admin access. The admin access removed here. Now go here and click on refresh, sir. Now tell me here currently we are able to see VPCs, right? So are you able to see VPC anymore? Why no? Permission has been removed. Click on refresh. It is telling on a red color, you are not authorized. Go for VPC dashboard. Click on refresh. Still you are seeing VPCs or not, sir? Sorry, you said that if I remove the user level permission, I cannot able to see VPC. But here I removed the user level permission VPC, but still why it is not showing? Think logically. Do you have IAM password here? Sorry, VPC permission here. And even if I go for user group, in user group DevOps, there is user called fresher user. Which user? For this fresher user, do I have admin access here anywhere? No. So why it is not showing? Why? Because first of all, logged off. Sign out to the console and try to re-sign in one more time. All of you know how to re-sign in, right? Username is fresher. Password is this one. Go here and type login to the sign into the console with the help of AWS IAM user. And IAM user can be logged in with the help of 12-digit code, or you can use the alias also. What is my alias here? Krishna. So try to log in with this console. Guys, here you want to learn the best subject, okay? So try to apply some brain. You will get the knowledge here. Ansible is the best in DevOps, sir. Are you feeling the same thing? Ansible is the best. Fine. Okay, IAM username is going to be fresher. Password is fresher123. I changed the password, right? So now I am able to log into AWS console. I'll try to check VPC here. What I'll try to check? Now go and see VPC. What you are seeing on VPC here? Still you are seeing VPC or not, sir? Sir, why still you are seeing VPC, sir? Or of course, I'll go to a concept called RDS. Do you have permission for RDS? Do you have permission? No. What is telling? It is not authorized to perform RDS operation. It is not performed to give the. So now I'll tell one basic point for your like understanding. Come back to again VPC. VPC. In the VPC, I'm going to try to remove this VPC. VPC gone now. And I'll try to recreate the VPC. ABC. ABC VPC. For example, let's take like VPC name can be anything. It doesn't matter really. So 10.0.0.0/24. Okay. Click on create VPC. Sir, is the user able to create VPC? Now my question is how the fresher can able to do all of these things. In the user called fresher, he is having only permission for Amazon EC2 full access and Amazon S3 full access and IAM user change password. Even the in group also, if you go to group, in group he is having only which permissions? EC2 and S3. But how he is able to create? Think logically. Login as. Okay, fine. So still, but of course, Vamsi user is login. But for Vamsi user, do you have admin access or VPC access? Vamsi is a root user, right? That means Vamsi can do whatever you want, sir. Vamsi is not root user, sir. If Vamsi is root user, how can he able to not create a RDS? So tell me. Think logically. We'll get the answer. So basically, I'll do one thing. EC2 full access is going to give for the user call pressure. Pressure, Shemu and Vamsi is having the same permission. Which level of permission? EC2 and S3 full access. For user also, you will be having pressure, EC2, S3, and IAM change password. Basically, we removed the password. Sorry, we removed the VPC permission. Which permission? That means admin access we remove. It will take some time to replicate. Permission is completely given, but what happens is whenever the AWS, if you remove the permission, right, it will take some time to replicate. Not on all times. Once in very, very rare. Out of 100 times, you'll get 1 or 2 times issue like this. Okay, but in your practice, you won't get this issue. Concept clear now? That's it. For a group, if I want to remove any permission, I can able to remove like this. Okay. And one more thing, write one note point, all of you. For group, we can add and remove permission after creating the group also. For a group, you can give the permissions and you can remove the permissions at any time. And the last one is going to be now IAM groups done, IAM user done, and IAM role. What is the last one here? Sir, here I'm writing some content. First of all, write this content and I'll show you how to create the role. Okay, write this content. Role is nothing but or like role is very similar to IAM user. Role is very similar. IAM user. But IAM user will have username and password. Sorry, basically, like write like this. IAM user and IAM user will have credentials. Not have credentials. First difference. For user, we don't have session timeout. But for role, we have session time. In real time depends on work. In real time depends on work. We can use roles or we can use users. Write these three differences. Like these are going to be very useful differences. So let's speak about something called IAM role. IAM role is very similar to IAM. user. But IAM user here, I'm removing the but. Okay, of course, you can write it. IAM user here will have the credential. That means username, password, secret key, and access key. But role will not have any secret key and access keys. Okay. Second thing, IAM user can be used for any kind of work, but role we can use for specific work only. For example, let's see, I'll tell one use case of real time in role. I'll tell where exactly we use it. Okay. For example, on every weekend, that is my like weekend means what, Saturday and Sunday. We want to do one deployment on only one server, right? On only this Saturday and Sunday. That means time is restricted or not, sir? Here, time is restricted. That means only Saturday and Sunday I want to do the work. If I create IAM user for this one, it is not going to be helpful. For that purpose, what I create here, IAM role is very similar to user. I can be able to log in with IAM role and I can be able to do the deployment on Saturday and Sunday. User do not have any restriction, but roles will have, sir. For example, if you want to use for a specific work at a specific point of time, user will not be helpful. In that case, what is going to be helpful? Role. Role is to do a specific work for specific time. For example, if I want to give you permission for only EC2 access, I can give. But if I want to give permission for EC2 access for only 1 hour, that user cannot do it, but role can do it. That means for a limited resources, if you want to give permission for limited time, which one is best option? Role is best option. So now how to create the role? That is your major question. So IAM user can be used for any work, but role can be used for fixed work. For user, we don't have session timeout, but for role we have. That means I can give 1 hour session, 2 hour session, 3 hour session. I can give anytime. For example, if you go to barbecue or anything, they will give one fixed time, right? Here also same thing. If I log in with IAM role, I can be able to give it the fixed time only. In real time, depends upon the work. We can use roles or we can use, it doesn't matter. So depends upon your work. If you want to give the fixed time, you can use roles. No, sir, if I don't want to give the fixed times, I can use IAM user. But for IAM user, we have credentials, but for roles, we don't have any credentials. Fine, then how to create the role? Again, go to here, roles, create a role. I want to create a role for my AWS service. For which service I want to create the role? Click on drop down. Here you can type EC2. Click on next. Click on administrator access. Admin means he can do whatever you want, but I want to work him on only EC2 access only. What I want to give? EC2. Why? Because deployment I'll do on EC2 only. So that is the reason I'm giving EC2. Of course, you can do for code pipeline also. In real time, with the help of code pipeline also, we can do the full access. Like we can do the full work. Code pipeline full access. Are you seeing code pipeline full access? Basically, in general, what we use Jenkins pipeline, right? But in real time, if you don't want to use Jenkins core pipeline, in real time, we have AWS code pipeline that can be able to do the work also. Click on next. So role name can be role of Raham. What is the role of the name here? Raham. Now, if you go to roles here, in the roles, just type Raham here. Seeing the role here. So if you go to see here, this particular role is having EC2 full access and EC2 pipeline. So this role I can attach for user also, or role I can attach for instance also. So now if you go for like rework sessions, currently what is the session here? I have given timeout of how much time I have given for session? Maximum? No, sir. If I want to give 5 hours of time, custom duration, just put 5 hours. 5 hours means how many seconds? Sorry, how many minutes? 60 minutes. When it comes to hours, like 3600 into 5, what is the value? 36 5s. Tell me the value of 36 5s. What is the value of 36, 36, 72? 72, 72, 144. 144 plus 36, 180. That means it is the value of 18000. Okay. So click on save changes. Now you'll get 5 hours of session. Correct or not, sir? So to work with IAM role, what you need to know? Seconds you need to know. And mathematics you need to know. Is it clear? Without knowing mathematics, how can you calculate seconds, sir? So now this particular role can be able to work for how many hours? Now what you can do, this particular role you can attach for any server. You can attach for any server. If you want me to show, go for IAM here. Sorry, I am not EC2 here. Click on EC2. For this EC2, you will be having lot of servers, right? You can take any server. Currently in this region, I don't have any server. Go for Mumbai region. Now Mumbai region, if you click on this one, you can click on this. You can click on start instance. Oh, sorry. You can go for actions. In the action, are you seeing here security? Are you seeing modify IAM role? What is the role I have given? Raham. Are you seeing the Raham role? So now this server is having full permission, sir. Why? Because for this server, what I attached here, basically I attached the roles here. In that role, which permission I gave here? Easy to full access. That means you can do whatever you want. But again, what is the limitation here? 5 hours. If you don't want 5 hours, you can edit this one. Okay. Roles we use for only specific type of work, not for all type of works. Roles we use for only for specific type of work. Is the concept clear for all of you? All in, whatever. Can you please confirm, is the concept of IAM user, IAM group, and IAM roles are clear for all of you? I'd like to get response from all of you online. Sorry? After 5 hours, it is going to terminate automatically itself. Terminating means the session will not able to log in again. You need to re-log in. Okay. So right use case. In real time, we use roles for deployments that I used in my real time. So you can tell the same thing. In real time, we can use roles for deployment of EC2. Right. Hmm. Is the concept clear for all of you? Now the last concept is going to be only one thing pending, that is IAM permissions. So users done. Apart from users, we have done with the roles also, and we have done with the groups also. And what is the pending concept IAM? It is going to be the craziest actually among all of them. Sir, permission means already you know. When it comes to permission, you'll be having two type of permissions, right? Permission types. So tell me how many kind of permissions we do have? What are those, sir? AWS managed permission. Second one is AWS managed means by default AWS will give these permissions. Second one custom managed. That means we need to create our own permissions. Okay. I'll tell the real time use case. Okay. How it is going to work. Just exactly what I worked on my real time. I'm going to show you the same thing now, but you need to observe it very carefully. So tell me how many kind of permissions we do have, sir? Two types. First of all, AWS managed. Second one is custom managed. AWS managed means all of currently what I am using now is completely given by AWS only. EC2 full access, S3 full access, administrator access, like these kind of default permission will given by AWS only. If you go to permissions, where is your permission part, sir? Here is your permission part. Like go for policies, like policies here. Okay, permission means policy. All of these are going to be AWS managed. Which one? Or you can click on filter just to go for AWS managed. So these all are going to be AWS managed. How many permissions we do have, sir? 1577. So all types. In all types, not custom managed. How many custom managed we have? 12 types, right? So like that. So now I'll tell one real-time use case. Currently, if I go to my S3 buckets, I want to go to only S3 buckets here. Click on my S3. So my S3 buckets, how many buckets am I able to see here? In bucket number 1, I'm seeing some objects. Are you seeing Terraform TF state file? And bucket number 2, you are seeing again some objects. Like I'll try to upload this object. Any objects you can able to upload, it doesn't matter. Sir, currently how many buckets we are having? 2 buckets. In these 2 buckets, are you able to see the data on 2 buckets or not, sir? Bucket number 1, bucket number 2 is having data. Now my requirement is just observe. I want to get the information from Raham shape bucket only. I don't want to see what is inside this bucket. I'll tell you where we use on real time. For example, if you go and see here, in my real time, you don't know, like we will be having almost all 50 buckets. Which buckets? 50 buckets I maintain on my real time. I'm exactly showing my real time work. For these 50 buckets, I want to give permission for only one bucket for a developer. Only one bucket for developer or any user. Okay. So in that case, what exactly I'll do is if I give EC2 full access, sorry, S3 full access, he can able to see all the buckets. Right? He want to see all the buckets, but he want to access the information for only one bucket. So in real time, whenever I deploy the application, I'll be getting some logs. I'll be getting some. These logs I upload to S3 bucket, correct? Whenever I deploy the application, I'll get some logs. These logs I upload to the bucket. Now developer want to see those logs. Who want to see that logs? Developer want to see that log. For this developer, now I'm going to create my custom policy. Which one? Custom POLSEY. What I want to create my? Why? Because if I give S3 access, he can able to see everything. For example, in this case, let's take fresher is my developer. Currently, I'm logging with which user? Fresher user. Now, if I go to here and if I click on S3 bucket, just see. Go for S3. Can he able to see all the content or not, sir? Can he able to see bucket from Raham Sheikh bucket? And he can be able to see information from Swiggy Terraform bucket, right? In Swiggy Terraform bucket also, he can able to see information. Now, my requirement is I want to give him access for only this bucket. That means he want to see the information from this bucket. If you apply S3 read access, he can be getting both buckets. He can able to see both buckets. But what is my requirement? I want to give for only. So first of all, copy the bucket name and go here and type AWS policy generator. What I'm going to type AWS generator. If you go here, now you need to give some inputs here. Okay. So this is the one of the way how to generate your custom policy. No, sir, if I don't want to generate policy like this, go to policy, click on create policy. In the policy, are you seeing service here? For which service I am creating policy? S3. So I want to give the read-only access. Which access? For which buckets are all bucket or specific bucket? Just to give the bucket name. Go for bucket. Give the bucket name here. Is it my bucket or not, sir? And don't give the space if you are having. Click on add ARN. Okay. Next. Bucket policy name here. You can give any name. I am giving custom policy. So shortcut is CM policy. Which one? Now, this policy is custom policy or AWS policy? Filter the custom policy. Are you seeing your custom policy? Click on this one, go for actions, attach this policy to which user here? Fresher user, right? Now, the policy attached for fresher user. First of all, you need to create the policy, and the policy we're going to attach for user. Now, fresher user can able to see only that particular bucket or not, sir? Click on refresh. He can't see it, sir. Now I give access for which bucket? Only Raham Sheikh bucket. Can he able to see content in Raham Sheikh bucket? But apart from that, he can be able to see the bucket of Swiggy Terraform also. But what is my requirement? I want to provide access for only this bucket, right? Sir, why it is happening means this fresher user is a part of group. Group is having S3 access or not, sir? So now you are having S3 full access. And now you are having S3 limited access. Which one will apply means full access will only apply. So for that purpose, what I can do, I can go to IAM user again. For this user called fresher, I'm going to remove the S3 full access. What I'm going to remove? If I remove S3 full access, and if I come here to one more tab, if I click refresh, can he lose the access for second bucket? Yes or no? Yes, sir. You don't have any permission to press the bucket. Why? Because just go to back here. If you go to user groups, in the groups called Devops. So do you have fresher user here? No. So here you have full access, but there is no fresher user. Sir, for user called fresher, at least you need to give IAM S3 bucket read-only access. Which access? Observe logically, if you don't give read-only access, how can you able to see the bucket, sir? Of course, you are giving only policy for single bucket. But to see the single bucket also, you need a read-only access or not, sir? Add permission. Attach policies. In the policy, just type S3 read-only access. Are you seeing read-only access here? Now go back to this tab, click on refresh. Now you will get the list of buckets. But in the list of buckets, you can be able to see only one bucket, sir. Are you seeing this one? Swiggy Terraform. I can able to see this bucket. And I can able to see this bucket also. Why I'm able to see both buckets? I need to see only one bucket, right? Why I'm not able to see, sir? What is the reason for it? Think logically. Huh? Type not. Custom policy you are having, right? For this custom policy, you give access for which bucket here? But it is applying for all things or not, sir? Why it is applying? Do one thing. Go and remove this one now. Remove the policy. Now I'm removing the policy and I'm going back here. Click on refresh. What happened here? You are not able to see the list of buckets. Why you are not able to see list of buckets, sir? Because we don't have read-only access. Now, if I go and if I try to give read access, what will happen? Click on add permissions, attach policies, S3, read-only access. Have I given read-only access now? Now, read-only access is done. But what is the main issue is with this policy? Click on remove the policy, try to generate the new more policy. Why? Because in the policy, you need to add one more thing. Go for create inline policy. What is the policy I'm creating for? S3. So just to give allow all S3 access. I'm giving allow. But for all or specific, sir, all bucket or specific bucket. Go for here and click on bucket name. What is your bucket name, sir? Oh man, wait. Can you tell me the bucket name? I forgot actually. Raham Sheikh. This one, right? Okay. Click on add ARN. Is it added now? After adding this one, click on scroll down, click on next, click on policy name. This time I'm giving CM policy 2. I'm giving what? CM policy. You create the policy, and the policy you are going to attach for which user, sir? Pressure user. Already it is attached, na? So now go and see here, click on refresh. The moment if you click on refresh, for Raham Sheikh bucket, are you able to access the things or not, sir? But for Swiggy bucket, click on refresh. Why you are not able to, sorry, why you are able to do this one means because this bucket is having some separate user. This bucket is created from separate user. That is the reason why you are getting this issue. For example, if I want to create a bucket, go for the bucket name. I'm giving some random name here. I'm just giving some random name here. That is Terraform bucket. Actually, don't know what is the meaning of Terraform, right? That is the reason why it is not disabled. Create bucket. What is happening here? Oh, uppercase, right? Wait. Click on create the bucket. What is telling? Failure to create the. Why it is failed to create? Don't read access. Basically, what are the policy we have given is correct. But the Terraform bucket is created by the user, which is having admin access. Which access? That is the reason why it is showing, sir. You got the logic point. In your practice, if you create two buckets and if you do the same thing, you won't get this issue. So when it comes to Terraform, you will get the concept why it is showing the bucket. Okay, currently we are not in Terraform, right? That's it. So that is the concept of IAM. So now what we discussed in today's session, first of all, we discussed about what is authentication. What is the meaning of authentication, sir? Sign in. Second one is authorization. What is the meaning of authorization? Access or permission to do the work. So here in IAM, what are the four major concepts? Users, group, roles, and so permission means you have two type of permission. AWS manager. Second one is custom manager. Custom means we can create for our requirement. AWS manager means AWS will give some default permission for us. Clear now? So that is the end of your IAM concept. Again, we have few more points to discuss about IAM, but I'll discuss on tomorrow's session. Okay, it's enough for today. So now before going for doubts and queries, is the concept clear for all of you? Got the clarity of IAM? Online, what about you? Can you please confirm, is the concept of today's session clear for all of you or not? I would like to get a response from all of you. Why? Because this is going to be very, very important in real-time aspect also. Okay, then fine. So if you are having any doubts or queries, we have still some time to discuss. Why? Because the class started a bit lately. So I'm sorry for it. So it's unexpected traffic block. So I cannot do anything about it. So now if you're having any doubts or any queries, you can ask me, guys. We'll discuss tomorrow definitely because it's almost all end, right? But I'll tell you as per my promise. Okay. You need that one, na? Definitely remind me tomorrow. I'm gonna tell you PV and PVC. Okay. I'll definitely tell you tomorrow. And whatever if you want to learn, just ask me freely. Okay. I'm not like if you ask me something, I'm not going to irritate you. Okay. My passion is to teach you. I'm here to teach you the good subject. Whatever if you want to learn, ask me, sir. Even though it's not a part of your syllabus. But even though if I feel that is going to be very important and if you require it, definitely I'll teach you. Okay. The only thing I want from your end is you want to learn the best subject and you want to get the complete satisfaction to join here. You join here, right? I want you to send out of my class with complete satisfaction. Okay, we joined a good institute. So this is the best. We got some knowledge. I want you to send from that way of perception. Okay. So still any queries or any doubts, guys? Okay then. So if you don't have any doubts or queries, can we wrap for session today? So let's meet on tomorrow's session with some other topic. Have a great day. Bye all. Thank you.